Hi guys, welcome to Casey's Contemplation. Today I'm going to share how God gave me rest. So a little background information about me. I live on a farm, and my family grows wheat, and so every year during the summer, my whole family gets together and puts up straw bales in barns and trailers to sell to people. On one particular day, the bales were really heavy from the rain the night before, and so the bales were ranging anywhere from 80 to 100 pounds each. And I know that may not seem like a lot to some of you, but for a 120-pound girl like me, throwing those bales around for 13 hours a day just really wears you out. The next day when I woke up, I literally felt like I couldn't get out of bed. I was so weak and so sore, and I only had to look forward to a whole nother day of putting up straw. I've been striving to go to daily mass, and I was not about to let my weak body be an excuse to miss mass that morning at 6:30. If anything, I needed to receive Jesus through the Eucharist more than anything, because I needed his strength to help me get through this day. So my sister and I got up and we went to mass, and I prayed that God would open my heart enough to hear his voice because I longed for him to comfort me. So here, me and my sister are kind of waddling into church because we could barely move, but before mass started, I was kneeling there, and I started to think about all of the pain I was in, and I was complaining to God about how bad my hands hurt because of carrying those bales. I had blisters all over my hands, and I could barely fold them together enough to pray. I was basically just being a little baby. But then I looked up from praying, and there was a banner hanging up in front of church, and it was a picture of Jesus' hands put out like this with nail holes in them, and the words, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you," were written underneath his hands. And I just thought, wow. Here I am complaining about these blisters on my hands when this is nothing compared to what Christ went through for me. My hands looked nothing like that, and yet he continued because of his love for me. So I knew I had to continue to put up straw that day because I realized my hands should be hurting a lot more often from helping others. Then the gospel was read, and to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention much. But then I heard the words, "Come to me, all who labor and are overburdened, and I will give you rest." That caught my attention. Christ had opened my heart and ears to hear what he had to tell me that day. He told me to continue working that day and just offer it all up to him, and he would give me rest, and I trusted in those words. While putting up straw that day, in the midst of all of this pain, each hour got worse. I was crabby and tired and weak and emotional, and I just felt so useless. And so I prayed, "God, please give me that rest that you promised you would give me." But then my mom realized how much I was hurting, so she pulled me aside and she said, "Hey, why don't you go lay down and take a break?" And I told her no, because there weren't that many people there and my family needed my help. But then shortly after, a lot more family members started showing up and helping, and me and my mom both realized that they had plenty of help. And so she confronted me again and told me to go lay down. And you betcha I took that offer. It wasn't until after I was laying down that I realized that God had fulfilled his promise to me. He told me he would give me rest, and he did. Because of God, he gave me the strength to continue working that day, which enabled me to offer up all the work that I was doing for prayers that were needed. From this God Nod, I hope it inspired you to make daily mass a priority in life, because the Eucharist truly can and does give you the strength to carry out your everyday, and know that you can find rest in God. Thank you guys for watching.